I'm Minana Konde Kuruma. I'm from Guinea. I'm a writer of the Black Reddish book. Also, I wrote some articles on my LinkedIn pages, and I'm learning at the EPU School, Diplomacy and International Relationship.
All right, that's interesting. The first question is, what is the Black Radish book talking about? Do you want to tell me about that?
It's a Black Reddish book talking about the importance to know where we're from for better know where we go. The Black Reddish book talk about also about the importance of our African racing. The Black Reddish book talking about the fact that we travel, and even if we are not actually in Africa, we we have to do we have to don't forget where we're from and why are here and why we are here in Europe or in USA or in other continents. We have to still have on our mindset that we are African and Africa needs us for the African development. So this is what I'm talking about on the Black Book. Also, I'm talking about in this book about the importance of the stereotypes, the African stereotypes, the migrant stereotypes, also about Muslim stereotypes. Black Radish book talking about also about a lot of political and geopolitical problematics in our actual society.
Mm-hmm. All right. So is this a topic that you have been working on for a long time, or did you just start it recently?
Many times ago, I'm very, very interesting about this question, about all these problematics, about Africa, about the history, about politics and geopolitics. Also, I studied law, so I'm very interested about this subject. It's important for me, and maybe everybody have to interest about the society and the problematics of our society. It's very important because it's important to understand the society where we live, and it's important because we are everybody has this part to make, this part to do, and for this you have to understand something on these societies.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how do you describe the African people in France in relation to what you are talking about in this book? Tell me something about that.
Okay, about the diaspora.
Yeah.
Okay, about the diaspora, I talking about that. It's important, as I said, that we still have on our mindset that we came from Africa, and we are African, and still have the first idea why we came here or why my parents or my grandparents came here. They came here for why. And so it's important to keep it on our mindset and continue to follow this thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, what are the key themes of Black Radish book? Like, what is the central theme of the book?
Okay, it's the political and geopolitical problematics in our actual society. It's also I'm talking also about human values. This is important things in the Black British book. I'm talking a lot of about um, family values, human values globally, and this is a mix um, of the where we came and how to continue. You know, when you read the Black Reddish book, you have to think that this is the problematic we have today. This is the problematic we have before. So now, what we have to do, you know, this is the interest to read the Black Reddish book.
Why did you call it the Black Radish book? Is there any reason behind that?
Yes, black radish is like coconut. When you see the black radish, you see that the skin is dark and inside it's white. So it's like Diaspora things that some Diaspora are white, like white, or like Europeans or like American, but they still with a brown skin, they're still black. So the thing is that we have to stay to still black with black mindset.
So, in relation to the people that you see right there in France, um, how can this book be of use to them?
Used to?
Used to the people that the African people that you see in France. I mean, how can this book be of use? Can be of help to them?
Yes, it can be help because black reddish put some question that this question going to interrogate a person about a lot of things on the life, about the problematics on the reddish book, and about his life. So when you read it, you're going to ask you and try to think differently. Also, there is at the end of the book, I say that mm, it's uh, it's now to think different because I put on the Radish book all the question, the chapter 1 to the chapter 6, all the question that the reader have to ask to him and to answer for him, and answer to this question going to make think about the next step of the life of the person, and it's a very important thing. So for understand and for continue on the different way, and I hope.
All right, thank you for that. Now, but how long did it take you to write this book? Can you tell me something about that?
Uh,
Like how long, how many months or years did it take you to write the book? Can you hear me?
yes, sorry. No, I don't see a lot of time on writing Radish, Black Radish book. Just 2 weeks ago, and after that, I just add some little modification, but 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. So have you showed it to other people to read? What do they say about it? Maybe your friends or your relation or other persons who have read the book. What did they say?
Yes, when I finished to wrote it, I sent to some friends, and say they they say that it's very interesting. It is very audacious. They say that this seems impactful, and lot of things, but globally they say that it's very powerful.
All right. The book currently is only in French. Will it also be in English so that people can also read it in English?
Yes, maybe soon I will work on this. So translate
Okay, you have it translated?
I will make the translation, but not now, but soon, in few months, it's maybe.
All right, okay. But how can people get a copy of this book? Where can it be bought?
Yes, we can buy it on the website, which is www.vadinoir.minaco.com. Maybe we will put on the video after.
All right, that's good. Now, what do you think about the African diaspora? Since that is what you are talking about in the book, can you say something about that?
About African diaspora?
Yeah.
Yes. About African diaspora, I think that diaspora is very powerful. I think that diaspora coming with an idea, when, like I said, and we have to keep this idea to come back home, come back to Africa. I think that coming in Europe or in USA or in China or in Russia for learn, that's a good thing. But we need to just learn and think that going to work, it's okay, but we need to return with good projects to participate in our African development. Because I think that this is our work. Because for me and maybe for a lot of Africa going us to help Africa after. Africa don't going us to develop other continents, and Africa needs African to come back in Africa to contribute to its development. This for me, this is very important, and this is a simple fact. Simple fact: learn, work, and come back. Just this. We have to learn, work, and come back to Africa to develop Africa.
When you say come back to develop Africa, what do you mean in terms of a concrete plan? Have you maybe share similar idea with other people of how they can go to Africa, or maybe go to Africa with a project like you were saying? Tell me about that.
Yes, maybe, in Africa we have all to do. A lot of things to do, a lot of project we can do. This is not very complicated to put in place. Maybe, when somebody come to Europe or USA for study, when you finish your study, it's okay to work. And with your competencies, your skills, you can just come back to home and work there. There is a lot of society, multinational, and etc. in Africa for develop Africa in Africa. Also, we can make some commercial projects. There is a lot of things to do. There is the new technologies. There's a lot of things to do in Africa. A lot of things.
All right, that's true. But what of you personally? What kind of project would you like to work on in Africa?
That's a good question. I'm learning diplomacy and international relationships. So the fact is that I want to work there to contribute in my side to participate in the African development.
Have you also maybe have the chance to talk to some people in Africa, maybe your friends or your family, to see how they might like to welcome people that are coming from the diaspora to contribute to the local development?
Yes, in my family, I have some family return in Africa to work there and make some commercial establishment there. And yes.
All right, that's a good thing. We really look forward to that. Now, how would you conclude this conversation? What would be your final thought here?
My final talk, maybe it's to think about African resources. I think that Africa is a more and more rich continent in our planet, and in fact, because it's a more rich continent in our planet, this is why we are going to be more powerful. So in this world, maybe because every continent has its resources, but Africa still have more resources than overall. So with this fact, we can be sure that Africa will be great again. Because maybe for me it's a destiny of Africa. Because all have his hands in this world, and the game for the gamer will be one day over. Is what I'm thinking very well, and I hope that this game going to be over very soon. This is what I'm hoping. And this is why we have to be focused on our African continent and don't wasting our time in other continents' problematics. For me, when you are a consultant for an USA society or for a European society working for, you are not working for consulting your continent development. And for me, we have to have on our mindset that Africa need all is African to develop. We have to have on our mindset that Africa needs is workers for its prosperity. And we have to also understand that Africa need is African children to develop. So if we are working for another country, the question is, how Africa going to develop?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. All right. Is there any other thing you would like to say to conclude the conversation? Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
I mean, is there any other thing you'd like to say to conclude the conversation? Maybe something you wanted to say I did not ask you?
No, maybe it's okay. I just can add that you have to never forget where we from. We come from Africa, and where we go. So where we go, for me, where we go, it's we go in Africa. Still have on this mindset, we come from there, and we have to return there.
Thank you so much for that sharing. I appreciate it. So yeah, it has been a pleasure here. To have a wonderful time.
Thank you. It was a pleasure too, and thank you for the invitation. Thank you.
All right.